Writer David Sedaris has made a career out of finding wit as he observes everyday life, and his new book, The Land and Its People, features a rich collection of stories centering on his friends and family and the interesting people he's met during his travels. He reveals that his longtime partner, Hugh, is his husband. He kept that a secret. He writes thoughtfully about his cool mom and gives his insights about Duolingo, going on safari, being in the room with the Pope, and some of the biggest comedians in the world. And we are thrilled that David Sedaris joins us now live in our newsroom. Thanks for being here.
Oh, thanks so much for having me.
I had a different plan for the opening question here, but I've decided to, on the fly, talk about your clown shoes, size 15 shoes. What's the story?
15. But see, my heel rests against that strap right there.
Yeah, this is not a conventional fit.
No, they're actually my size, but it's my size in a size 15. But they're easy to walk in.
Right.
They don't. But you look like a kid wearing your dad's shoes.
You do look like a kid wearing your dad's shoes.
And they're really heavy.
And okay, I'm not going to ask any more questions. I'm confused, but I think that
because I'm on a book tour.
Yeah.
And so you can't. When I'm on a stage tour, then I bring a lot finery. But on a book tour, I'm just letting my shoes do the speaking.
Okay. So listen, I mentioned to you that in the newsroom, when people overheard me mentioning your name, a lot of people were really thrilled. And Erica Johnson, for example, came by to say hello. But for those who haven't read your books and certainly haven't seen your new book, describe it for them.
Oh, gosh, I just write personal essays. I just write about things that happen to me. I mean, that's a question I get from, like, drivers a lot. Like, well, what do you write? What do you write? And I think, gosh, I mean, it sounds pretty conceited, but I just write about me. Not that I'm interesting, but... and I think I just use myself to write about the world, actually.
Yeah, that is the most, humble description of what you do, because what you actually do, let me explain what he actually does, is you look at the world, you see people, some who are special to you, like you, some who you just happen to run into, and you find insight and humor, and it sometimes makes me laugh out loud. And I'm a little intimidated because I wonder, what are you thinking as you talk to me and look around in our newsroom here in Vancouver? So let me ask you, David, what are you thinking now?
Well, I'm not I did some, because I'm on this book tour, I did a television show last week, and it was the same thing. It was with Anderson Cooper, but it was the same sort of thing. You're just in the newsroom, and you're just not in a studio, not with a backdrop or anything. You're just kind of, it's like you work there and you're on break.
Yeah.
Things.
Yeah, that's a secret. We're not supposed to show that. On late night television, you do those shows. I think there's a conversation, I guess, right? And they talk beforehand about what you are maybe going to talk about, what anecdotes are going to come up. We haven't had that conversation.
No.
But let me just ask, how long have you been in Canada on this trip? Did you just arrive?
I just arrived, I don't know, 2 hours ago.
But you have been here before. You were across the street in Queen Elizabeth Theatre. And so we are always hungry in Canada to hear people say things about our country who are from the big city, New York City. So tell us, what would you tell people about Canada?
And it was such a drunk audience.
Drunk?
Oh my God, it was the drunkest audience of my entire tour.
Well, so that's a superlative. That makes us number one.
Yeah, you beat New Orleans, in the drunk audience.
That is weird.
Yeah.
And how did that feel to be on stage speaking to a bunch of drunk people in a country where you weren't really expecting that?
Well, I think I just prefer, because sometimes when people are drunk, they yell things out, and they're yelling out nice things, but it's like, you're trying to read something, so you don't really need, when you figure, we love you, it's like, well, you bought a ticket, I mean, it's nice, but I don't need extra support right this minute.
Your partner, Hugh, has now been revealed as your husband. That wasn't really a secret, was it? That he was your husband?
It was a complete secret. But it just seems, I don't know, it just seemed unimportant to me. And we just...
Not him,
I didn't want
not your relationship,
to know.
but the husband part of it.
Yeah. And I just didn't want anybody to know. Just because, I don't know, when I hear a man say my husband, it's just, I don't mind a woman saying my husband. I don't mind a man saying my wife. I don't mind a woman saying my wife. But my husband coming from a man. And now when I hear people, because I wrote about it, he lives with his husband, and I think, but I still want to identify as a boyfriend, But You know, we got married, but just for financial reasons. I mean, I don't know what it's like here, but I don't think it's fair, you know, like that if you're a couple, you get financial advantages. I don't, you know, like what if you're just really homely, or what if you are autistic and you just don't want to be with anybody? I don't see why you should be punished for that. I don't think anybody should get tax benefits for being in a couple.
Unless we started giving tax benefits to the homely.
Well, you know, I think that they should, because they have enough against them already.
Be careful here.
I know, but see, that would be the thing when you got the call. Congratulations, we're giving you a tax benefit. You'd be
And
like,
why?
Really?
Why, David? Because you're homely.
You're homely, yeah.
I want to talk about Hugh for a moment. I feel like I know him through your writing. But are there moments at home or on a trip where something happens and all of a sudden he thinks, don't put that in your book. That is something that should stay between us and not written about.
Something happened with Hugh a couple of years ago. His word doesn't really, he can be talked out of anything now. I don't know what it is. So he might say that, but it doesn't mean anything. Because I know that I can say, well, that's not fair. But usually, I don't know, I'm pretty fair when I write about Hugh, I think. I mean, usually when I write about him, it's sort of the writing, I mean, it's not terribly different from, I don't know, gosh, James Thurber writing about his relationship. I mean, it's a gay relationship, but that's not important. It's just about people trying to make a life together. But he's the voice of reason, you know, and I'm the bumbling one. It's a formula that's been around forever.
But we know now that he wears boxer shorts. Did we need to know that?
Oh, yeah, you do know that. But it's not like piercings, you know, it's just boxer shorts.
Fair enough. Yeah, we'll just leave it at that line. You're going to be at a book signing in a couple of hours in downtown Vancouver. Why should people go?
Why should they go? Oh, I don't know. You know, if people like to get their books signed, you know, I do that.
So there's that.
I mean, I read out loud, and then I sign books, and I talk to people, and they tell me things, and you know, we have a little conversation, and I don't, you know, if that's someone's thing, you know, then I'm good at it. You know what? I'm good at it.
Are you?
I am good at it. I'm good at being on a book tour. I'm good at signing books. I'm good at talking to people. I've been around plenty of people who aren't good at it, and I never understood it. It's not that hard. You have a seat. You know, I mean, like last night, people, I mean, they waited so long and they were on their feet and they would apologize to me, and it's like, no, I'm sitting down this whole time. It's not that difficult for me. But I don't know, when it works out well, I don't know, I think we both come out on top, you know. I learned a little something I didn't know before.
Well, so let me finish with that. What do you get out of it?
You know, a guy picked me up at the airport today, and he said, how was your flight? And all I do is travel, and so and I said, you know what? I said, that's just nothing. That question is nothing. I said, I know you can do better. And then it was bad, and then we got into the car, and I started talking to him, and I found out he used to be a tour guide, right? Mm-hmm. And he would tell a lot of the same jokes day after day, and he would be so embarrassed of himself, you know, for telling the same jokes. Yeah. And I said, well, like, what were the jokes? Anyway, we had such a nice conversation on the way in. And it's one that, if he had said, how was your flight? And I said, you know, there was a baby crying. Oh, too bad. That doesn't go anywhere, you know? But I feel like I really left, we had evidence that each other was a real person. Mm-hmm. And I just want that in every encounter. You know, even if I'm buying, you know, deodorant, I want to know that the person behind the counter, and it's such a treat. It's such a treat to be able to talk to people, and it's such a, and especially when I'm on a tour, because I can ask questions that I can't ask of a hotel concierge. You know, I can't say, how much do you make every year? Or, do you know anyone whose child has died? You know, because it's just weird if you're asking. But if people came to you, you can pretty much ask them whatever you want.
Like, why are your shoes so big?
Why are your shoes so big? Someone said, you know what, you got some pretty big shoes to fill. And I thought, yes.
fantastic talking to you, and your books are amazing. They make me laugh out loud. I love the observations of what I'll call the ordinary world, but there's nothing ordinary about the world. And I think what you just said about asking questions of people, whether they're selling you deodorant or driving you from the airport, is a little bit of your secret sauce. So I'm glad you shared it with us. Thank you very much.
Oh gosh, thank you.
All right.